Hey everyone, my name is Ben, and I'm the pastor of Hope Fellowship Church. We've been wanting to do kind of a weekly encouraging video for folks that goes out on the internet. Isn't it nice to have encouraging things on the internet? So we're going to talk about a different word each week that brings a lot of hope. And this week's word is listen. I'm going to be talking about John chapter 10, which is a book in the New Testament, as we talk about this word listen. And to keep the video short, we're not going to read it, but you can look it up on your own. If you just type John 10 into the search engine in your browser, it'll come right up on some kind of website. So we're talking about how encouraging and how hopeful this word listen can be, especially in our spiritual lives. And listen is a good word because I think we do a lot of listening every day. We actually have a lot of competing voices that are all trying to get our attention. So like on any given day, there are tons of voices out there that are always telling me that I am just one purchase away from being happy. Or have you noticed this pervasive voice of competition that's kind of in our culture right now? It's a voice that tells us that we need to make sure that our opinions are lined up with our tribes and that our group always wins. It's leading to a lot of division and arguing. Or how about those voices from my past that just want to constantly remind me of my mistakes? I'm sure you could name a lot of other voices that compete for our attention as well. All of these voices, they scatter and they divide us. They cut us off from each other and they cut us off from becoming our true selves, which is why it is such good news that Jesus says his voice is a voice that draws us together into one flock with one shepherd. So if you're like me, that makes me wonder, what does this voice sound like? If Jesus says there's this voice that draws us together and brings unity, how do we know what that voice sounds like amidst all the other voices that are in our world every single day? Well, here's what I think. If God is love, then that means that the voice that Jesus is talking about is a voice of love. It is a voice of consistent, self-giving, abundant, non-clingy, non-manipulative, compassionate love. A voice that never speaks into our fear or our guilt, but always points us towards true hope and peace. So as you go into your day today, whatever you have on your plate for the day ahead of you, take a moment to think about the voices that you are hearing. Sometimes it's even helpful to write them down and to kind of sort them out. And then stop and be still for a moment. Give yourself the freedom to have a minute, even 5 minutes, a moment of stillness and quiet. Sometimes that's all we need to be able to sort out that voice of love from all the other noise and chaos that's in our lives. That voice of love draws us closer to God and it empowers us to share God's love with others. My friends, that voice sustains us. So I hope that this week is full of hope for you. May you go in grace and peace, and may you listen for the voice of love and have the courage to do what it's calling you to do.